Thank you for that, Shane. We'll just say good morning again to all the members of Bi-County. Thank you for being with us here at this earlier hour.
Do we have to go live as well?
I thought we were live.
We went to recording.
Latasha has to record one of her meeting on live. So this one is recorded and then posted manually.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. With that said, I just want to welcome everyone here who is new to Bi-County. I think we have one additional new member. I'm not sure if she's with us, but Delegate Denise Roberts. I want to preface by saying I am on low battery on my laptop, so I apologize. So if I go, Vice Chair will take over while I get to a power source. With that said, for those of you who are joining us, I just want to remind, or for those who are new, it's not a reminder, but for those who are with us, it's a reminder that these subcommittee meetings are subcommittee meetings. They're not hearings. So for those of you who are joining, you will not necessarily be called on or be asked to speak unless questions arise or additional information is needed. So you are here solely for the purpose of viewing and listening and observing. With that said, the Vice Chair and I, we pretty much run this a tight ship. We like to get through each piece of legislation as thoroughly and briefly as possible. With that said, we have 4 pieces of legislation on the docket. We will begin with PGMC 10324, which is the Prince George's County, Montgomery County, Washington Suburban Transit Commission Reform Act. Shane, if you would just give a very brief description.
Sure. The brief synopsis would be that it makes changes to certain procedures of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, WMATA, the Board of Directors regarding the attendance of meetings by the Secretary of Transportation and the appointment of certain principal members of the board. The bill also repeals a requirement that the governing bodies of Prince George's County and Montgomery County review and approve certain contracts or agreements entered into by the Washington Suburban Transit District.
Thank you so much. I will say we have a guest with us, and I will say I will give point of personal privilege. Should the chairman of ENT like to say a few words, and if not,
I'm just here for questions, Madam Chair.
You have the floor if you would like to, Chair Corman.
I'm just here for any questions, Madam Chair.
Okay, great. Are there any questions or discussion from the members of the subcommittee? I will mention this passed unanimously out of the Montgomery County Bi-County subcommittee. Oh, I'm sorry, Delegate Healy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to ask the origin of this legislation. Why, who asked for it and why are we doing this?
Sure. Thank you, Delegate Healy. It's a little bit of a cleanup bill on our WMATA board procedures. So we worked with the Department of Transportation on it. They found a few inconsistencies in the law based on some changes we made about 6 years ago. And we're just looking for a little bit of cleanup. I'm happy to describe those changes, Delegate Healy, if you're interested, but that's the origin of the bill.
Thank you. That's fine. That's all I needed to know.
Any other additional questions or commentary? Seeing none, is there a motion on this piece of legislation? Is there a
Move
motion?
favorable. Sorry.
Second.
I couldn't unmute.
Thank you. Latasha or whomever, Shane, are you taking?
I can do it.
Okay,
Delegate Harris,
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Harrison,
Aye.
Delegate Healy,
Aye.
Delegate Roberts,
Aye.
Madam Chair.
I vote aye. This bill moves favorable. Thank you, members. Thank you, Chair Corman, for joining us.
So let me crash. Bye.
We will move on to the next bill, which is PGMC 10124 WSSC connection pipe. Shane?
This is a WSSC requested bill. It makes several changes to WSSC's connection pipe emergency replacement loan program, including expanding the program to include certain sewer pipes and diagnostic actions, extending the termination date of the program by 5 years, and increasing certain amounts related to loans made under the program and its annual budgeting.
Okay, so I have a question. So, and my memory, just bear with me. I feel like we've done this there was some form of this legislation some time ago. So what would be the difference from then and now?
Are
is
you
this-
asking me, Madam Chair?
Yes, you, counsel, I'm sorry.
So this bill, if you're referring to the legislation that this committee took up last session, that would have been the minority business enterprise program that WSSC has, whereas this is some program related to the connection of pipe emergency replacements.
I'm
Um,
actually referring to a bill that my former district mate put in Delegate,
Oh.
then Delegate Walker, but you know what? I have a feeling this might be different. Because it had to do with residents needing assistance when there was a issue with pipes bursting and such. So this is completely separate. Is that,
to my knowledge, I'm not aware of that bill, but
Okay.
I
all
know
right,
that this program was enacted in 2018.
okay, all right. Okay. Delegate Harris. Did you, I saw your, okay. Delegate Healy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Just a very quick question. Was there opposition to this bill in the public hearing, or do we have any letters of opposition from anybody?
I'm not aware of any, but I don't want to say we don't. When we were at the public hearing, I don't believe there was anyone from not WSSC, but from in opposition, I should say.
Yeah, I know that the agency wants it. I just wanted to know if there was any opposition and what it might have been, but because I don't recall the discussion on this. It might have just been that it didn't get much discussion because it went right
That
through.
that could very well be, yes.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Harrison.
Thank you. So is this in fact emergency replacement for residential, or is this in public right of way? What is this? So I guess my question is being directed to Kelly Kaplan.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me. So Delegate Harrison, this is for the water service line and now moving to add sewer service line on customer property. That's the responsibility of the homeowner. So this is, if you need to replace, right now it's just water service line. We're looking to add sewer since both of those are the responsibility of the resident. And as Shane said, the diagnostic, so cammering, snaking, so it could be repair or replacement, but it is residential customers.
Okay, thank you, because that's a big expense on customers.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're at a loss of where to go, what to do, and how to get it done. And so I think this is great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you, Ms. Kaplan, for your informational resource.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Is there a motion on the bill?
Move favorable.
Second.
There's been a move favorable in a second. Shane, if you would take the roll call, please.
Delegate Roberts. Delegate Healy,
Yes.
Vice Chair Harrison,
Yes.
Delegate Harris,
I vote aye.
Delegate Roberts,
Yes.
Chair Valderrama.
I vote aye. This bill moves favorable unanimously. Thank you very much. Let's see. 101, we did 103. Next on the docket is PGMC 110, which is the Montgomery County Clerk of Court Subdivision Plat Recordation.
This is a bill sponsored by Delegate Lopez. It affects Montgomery County only. It requires the clerk of the Circuit Court for Montgomery County to accept a subdivision plat for recordation as signed by one party and authorizes a plat in Montgomery County to be drawn, recorded, and maintained in electronic form in a manner approved by the state archivist.
I will just reiterate what Shane said. This is only in Montgomery County. And I believe it came out unanimously, correct, Shane?
That's correct.
Yes.
Move
Any-
favorable.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Roll call.
Delegate Harris,
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Harrison,
Aye.
Delegate Healy,
Aye.
Delegate Roberts,
Aye.
Madam Chair.
I vote aye. That bill moves unanimously. And members, on to the fourth and final bill. I love expediency. PGMC 111, again, Montgomery County Subdivision Plats Conditions.
This one is also sponsored by Delegate Lopez. Similarly, it only affects Montgomery County and came out of their delegation unanimously. It provides that Montgomery County Planning Board may tentatively approve a subdivision plat subject to specified conditions, and also provides for the approval and submission of a certain subdivision plat to the county land records.
Easy
Any
peasy.
questions or commentary? Seeing none.
Move favorably.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Roll call.
Delegate Roberts.
Aye.
Delegate Healy.
Aye.
Sorry about that, Delegate Roberts.
Sorry.
Vice Chair Harrison,
Aye.
Delegate Harris,
I vote aye.
Madam Chair.
I vote aye. That bill moves unanimously favorable. That's awesome. We we covered all 4 bills on our docket. There are 2 that I thought would be on here, but they're still being fine-tuned. We will just move along. The reason why there was a delay in starting our meetings is because we can only move if we have first dibs, but this year it's Montgomery County who has it on this legislation. So we had 2 that are in our delegation, which are Delegate Holmes and Delegate Alston. So until those are ready for prime time, stay tuned for when our next meeting will be, because we may or may not have one next week. So thank you, members. If there's any other commentary or otherwise, seeing none, thank you all for joining us so early. And thank you, Shane, as always, for your counsel.
Thank
You guys
you.
on the floor.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.